Happy almost Thanksgiving. I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving. It is one of the best times of year. Just getting my camera straight here. And for those of us who, like me, are on a low sugar, lower carb diet, I've got an amazing, amazing recipe for you. So watch as I show you how to prepare some delicious monkey bread. That means it's like cinnamon bread. Think of like cinnamon rolls, but in a kind of like a family serving style that you can put on your table at Thanksgiving. You can make it ahead and you can freeze it and get it ready for your Thanksgiving table now. So I'm going to be posting the recipe along with this post, along with some pictures of the finished product. But I'm going to show you the method of how to put it all together right now. So, ready? Let's get started. So, first step, let's see here. First step, I'm Barb, by the way, and I have been on a kind of low-carb lifestyle ever since the beginning of 2021, and I've lost 36 pounds. So I'm here to attest that it can be done, and it's not that hard. I'm going to share a few tips along the way while we're cooking. Sound good? So the first step for this keto, we'll call it keto, but it's for low carb monkey bread, is you got to gather your ingredients. So one of the first ingredients is mozzarella, 2 cups of mozzarella. By the way, if you're watching me, please hit the button and follow me or subscribe. If you're on Facebook, just hit the 3 dots. And then you can hit follow. And if you are on YouTube, everyone watching my YouTube channel, please hit subscribe. I appreciate it so you don't miss anything, any of my recipes in the future. So 2 cups of mozzarella, 2 ounces of cream cheese. So I've just got some full fat cream cheese. These packages have about 8 ounces. So 2 ounces is 1/4 of the pack. So now, simple as this, I'm just going to melt this in the microwave. Melt it and stir it. So my friend Susan is going to help me by melting that in the microwave while I get started on the next step. Okay. By the way, I preheated the oven to 350 degrees. While we're doing that, we're going to take 2 eggs. Quick tip for those of us, if you're on a diet, which means you're eating less food, why not just have the very best and finest ingredients, right? So when you're choosing eggs, the best for you for nutrition as well as, frankly, weight loss, I'll tell you that why in a second, is you want pasture-raised eggs. Pasture-raised means basically they weren't in a tiny, tiny little coop. And so they're healthier and happier chickens, which means they have less cortisol, they have more just nutrition in them that's from organic places. And so that is the best thing to do. You want 2 eggs and let's see here, and the vanilla extract, and we're going to stir that to combine. So I've got some vanilla extract. When you're choosing your vanilla extract, just be sure that you choose one that does not have added sugar in it. Believe it or not, these days companies add sugar to everything. Obviously, if you're going low carb, you do not want extra sugar. So it is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's going to be so delicious. So what are you guys planning for Thanksgiving? I think what we might do is I might actually have a pre-Thanksgiving with my family next week. And then during actual Thanksgiving, my husband and I might go to the mountains and go snowboarding. Okay, so I'm going to whisk this together, just the eggs and the vanilla extract. All right. Next is I'm going to whisk in a separate bowl almond flour and the sweetener, salt, and baking soda together. So almond flour, we've got 2 cups of almond flour. So let's get that together. I always use super fine almond flour. So I've learned whenever I'm making these recipes that if you use just regular almond flour, it tastes kind of coarse. You can actually kind of taste the texture in your baked goods, and that's not a good thing. Super fine is what you want. Super fine, because that's what this dessert is going to taste. Super fun. That's part of the miracle of this.
Dining super fun.
That's right. Dining super fun. You know, what I really love, so, you know, my husband, because he saw me losing weight so quickly, he ended up also going low carb. And so the thing is that he misses most is real desserts, but I love it whenever I can fool him and actually have a dessert on the table that he doesn't know is low carb. Your kids will love it. Your family members will love it. They won't miss the sugar. And if you have other family members or friends who are even diabetic, this is using the type of sugar sweetener that does not spike your insulin. So that's a good tip too. Okay, so we've got the flour. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so my friend Susan, thank you. This is Susan. So she has melted together. What we did is we took that mozzarella cheese and we took the cream cheese and then we microwaved it to make it melt together. So let's see here. Whisk the almond flour and add it to melted cheese. Okay, so almond flour, sweetener, salt, and baking soda. So the sweetener is 1/3 cup of the monk fruit sweetener. So monk fruit, here it is, 1/3 cup. There we go, awesome. So this is monk fruit sweetener. So basically this is not gonna spike your blood sugar and it is very tolerable for a low carb or even a keto diet, depending on what you're doing. So that's 1/3 cup and we're gonna mix it in with the almond flour. And the baking soda is just 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon, there it is. I get the giant size baking soda.
That is giant.
Yes, it is. But you know, it'll take me a while to go through all this. It's okay. Okay, and 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. I just use this. You can use whatever kind you want. Why? Do you ever wonder why they tell you to use pink Himalayan? I will tell you why. It is just because the mineral content in pink Himalayan is higher than other salts. And so it's just a tiny, tiny bit better for you. So I have a 1/2 teaspoon measure here, so I'm gonna only fill half of it to have 1/4 teaspoon. How about that? We'll just eyeball it. And we'll eyeball it a little bit under, because that way you can always add salt, right? Okay, so I'm gonna whisk that together first. Very good. And let's see here. Egg and vanilla. Oh, okay. So now I get to add the egg and vanilla extract to the cheese. Yeah, there we go. So this is melted and we're going to add it to the egg mixture. Egg and vanilla extract.
Looks like dough.
It does look like dough. In fact, there's a name for this. It's a form of fathead dough. Now, the thing is honestly, I need to look that up. I don't know why they call it fathead dough. Does anybody out there know? Why do they call it fathead dough? Is that because I'm a fathead and I'm trying to lose weight and that's why I have to eat fathead dough? I hope not. Anyway, they call it fathead dough. This is a version of it. There's many different recipes for fathead dough on the web, but this is a particularly good one for sweet pastries.
I find myself on
So what I'm finding is that it's a little bit hard to mix together. It's the liquid content of the egg. So my advice is basically get the cheese mixture as hot as you can get it before you add the egg. And it's coming together now, which is good.
Well, you don't want the cheese too hot because it'll cook the egg when you're done.
True. Very true. So in case you couldn't hear that, Susan said, you don't want the cheese too hot because it'll cook the egg when you put it together. She's right about that. So this is perfect.
Based on experience.
Is that right? Have you had that happen to you before?
Yes.
See, I feel like I'm Chef Boyardee now. That's actually my next challenge. I'm going to figure out a way to make pasta low carb. I love pasta. I've been using some pasta substitutes on my journey this year, losing my 36 pounds. And one of my very favorite pasta substitutes is called Healthy Noodle. Write in comments, if you don't mind, what's your favorite pasta substitute on a low carb diet? So all it takes is a little bit
Spaghetti squash.
You like spaghetti squash?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that too, actually. I love something called Healthy Noodle. I found it at Whole Foods. It's delicious. It's made with, I think you pronounce it guacamole flour. Guacamole flour. It's I think it's a kind of seaweed from Japan. Anyway, so this is what it looks like whenever it's all mixed together. And now what we're going to do is add the flour mixture to my cheese, egg, and vanilla. This is already looking like dough. Amazing. So I should tell you where I got this recipe. So I'm in a 14-day keto diet challenge. And part of the challenge is these coaches that have done just an amazing job of coming up with astounding recipes. They've been doing it for a year and a half. They've helped people lose over 500 pounds together, doing a low carb and keto lifestyle. That group, the coaches teach everybody everything from nutrients, what you should be, counting for nutrients and to stay in ketosis. But they also teach the group about hydration and mindset, as well as drinking ketones, because it helps people to stay on the keto diet. I have to say, without these, I'm not sure I could have done it. My flavor today is called Magic Apple, and it's delicious. Although I have to say, one of my favorites, I like hibiscus lemonade, and my other favorite is they have a kind of a Hawaiian punch called Maui Punch, and that one mixed with orange Mitoplex is so good. So good. Okay, you're not going to believe it when you see this. So take a look at this dough. Does that not look like dough? Like real dough? Amazing, right? Okay. So see how easy this is? We're halfway through it already. So now we're going to knead the dough until well combined and then divide it into 24 little dough balls and set them aside. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've just got a sheet of...
Sous chef gave you some parchment paper to help you out there.
Thank you, sous chef. I appreciate you. So since I need like 24, I'm going to use this little 1/3 of a cup measure to kind of help me portion it out. I've already washed my hands before I started. And this is already well combined in the bowl, so I don't need to knead it anymore, but I kneaded it in the bowl. If you don't mind, write in comments, where are you listening from? I'm always curious. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I've been in North Bend. North Bend, that's right, specifically, suburb really called North Bend. Well, I love North Bend because it's in the mountains. So I'm making balls about this big, kind of like a meatball, right? But it's a dough ball. Have you guys seen what monkey bread looks like? If you don't know what I'm talking about, the end result will look like this. Beautiful, right? So just making these little balls. So anyway, it's lovely living out here, and just love the Pacific Northwest. Our summers are the best, really, of anywhere I've ever lived. It's really, it gets warm enough to be happy and warm so you can go swimming, and yet it never really gets cold. And even in the winter, it doesn't get that cold. This is about as cold. I tell you what, I'm wearing this because whenever you're doing a low-carb diet, do you know that you can get cold easily? I get cold really easily, but that's okay. It's worth it.
Since you're wearing a down jacket right now.
Yeah, exactly. Inside. But anyway, it's not really that cold.
70 degrees in here.
It's 70 degrees in here. Low-carb diet makes you cold. What can I tell you? It's worth it. I can tell you that. It's worth it. But it never really gets that cold here in the winter. But what's really cool is we live right inside of the mountains. And so that, anytime we want in the wintertime, we can just hop in the car and in 45 minutes be snowboarding. I can't wait for that this year. What do you guys like to do? What are your favorite activities in the winter where you're at? Okay, so almost done. Although I might need to re-knead a couple or reportion a couple of these. I might have made some of the meatballs a little bit too big.
Too fat.
Yeah, that's all right. Too fat. Fathead dough is too fat. It's amazing to me how easy it is cooking low carb. Very few ingredients. It's even less expensive when you think about it, which makes it so you can afford to buy higher quality ingredients. And these days, write in comments if that's a concern for you. Do you like making sure that you have the highest quality ingredients? I know these days I do. I've read too much about what's out there. You know, and frankly, I think my goal is to end up as a, dare I say it, grow older, you know, to be as healthy as possible, because that's part of real wealth, just to be healthy and happy. Healthy and happy, healthy in weight and in body and in mindset. And of course, if you are having higher quality ingredients and not spending anymore because you need less of them, all the better, because then you're also financially wise. This is actually kind of fun. You know, if I had a little one here, then I would have them helping me make these little balls because I think they'd be giggling. I have enough of a little one inside of me, basically, that makes me giggle when I'm making them. All right. So I can see I'm going to have to divide up some of these balls. Let's see how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, and I'm supposed to have 24. So about half that size almost. It's all right. So now I'll show you the correct size, like this. Okay. Divide up some of these. So, what is your favorite food for Thanksgiving? Write it in comments.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie? Is that right? I love pumpkin pie. Did you know that there's a way to make pumpkin pie low carb as well? Write in comments if you want to learn how to make pumpkin pie low carb. I'd be happy to show you. In fact, that's another recipe I got from this 14-day challenge. Dude, this 14-day challenge is amazing. I was actually struggling a lot a year ago, 36 pounds heavier than I am now. Struggling a lot staying on a keto diet or a low carb diet. I was struggling with just the amount of food that I felt like and being lethargic and all kinds of just problems related to having too much weight on, and maybe a little bit about metabolism change. Okay, and I will tell you the truth, a little bit had to do with stupid COVID because my gym closed, and it meant that I no longer could do my 3 times a week volleyball that I was doing prior. And let me tell you, 3 hours a week of beach volleyball burns a lot of calories and builds a lot of muscle that I suddenly didn't have. And so that meant that the weight started kind of just coming on without my even thinking about it or even realizing it, really. So that was disastrous. And this diet, combined with these, really helped me get through it. Okay, almost done. And now we have almost 24 balls. I'm going to have to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Really close. All right, 21. Take a little bit of like 3 of the balls. 22. Now I'll show you the real size. Oh, Susan, can I ask your help? I'm sorry. That phone, can you plug that in by any chance?
Sure.
Thank you. 23. And 24. Thank you. I appreciate it. It goes in the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Can I still see you?
Yeah, totally. Hey, Vicky. How's it going? Okay. So here is the correct size of the balls of dough that you want for this monkey bread. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And you can observe the beautiful Great Northwest in the backyard. Susan, your place is lovely.
Thank you.
I love it here.
The leaves are falling.
Beautiful.
Some trees are turning orange.
I love it here. Okay, awesome. So we're almost done, believe it or not. So now we've got our dough balls all ready. And so next we're going to coat the balls. So to coat them, first thing you do is you mix a half of a cup of the monk fruit sweetener that I told you about earlier, half of a cup of that, along with 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And I always use high quality cinnamon too. It costs a little more, but the taste is like exquisitely better. And then you need 3 tablespoons of butter melted. Can I ask you to melt this in the micro?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay. So Susan's going to melt that and create this for our coating. And then the second thing that you need for the coating, let's see here, just make sure I got this right. So what we're going to do as soon as she melts that is we're going to mix this with the cinnamon and sugar. We're going to dip each dough ball in the melted butter mixture and coat it well. And then we're going to place them in the bottom of these pans. So I just got 2 cake pans because I'm going to make one monkey bread for Susan and her husband and one for me and my husband. And then we'll make the sauce for the top. Sound good? In fact, while she's melting that, I'm going to put on the burner, just to melt it, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, a 1/4 cup of Swerve brown sugar. Thank you. You rock. Okay. So put the butter into the cinnamon and sugar mixture. Bam. Mix it together. Doesn't that look lovely? Oh, it smells so good. You know, and any cook knows sometimes you have to kind of vary ingredients just a tiny bit for what works for you. This seems a little bit not wet enough to me. What do you think? I don't know. Maybe it's all right. We'll try it the way it is.
Yeah, because you might want it to be like that too. So it sticks better.
See how it looks? That's right. It'd probably stick really well. Okay. So that's all melted together. So what we're going to do, since we have to roll them, so I've already placed the balls here on the table with me, so you can see that. There they are. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see if I can make it stick. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually sprinkle this on top and roll it right on the parchment paper. I'm sorry. Can I ask your help to reposition that? I messed it up. Thank you.
You don't want people to be checking out the ceiling?
Yeah. All I can see is my head in the ceiling. Okay. Thank you, Susan. You rock. I'm very lucky to have a friend like Susan to help me with this. And also to lend her kitchen, her amazing kitchen to this. By the way, guys, we haven't like announced anything like this yet, but we're thinking about actually having low-carb cooking classes
that'd be fun.
in the North Bend area. So raise your hand in comments. Just give us raise your hand in comments. Just raise
There'll
your hand.
be low-carb cocktails as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Favorite. Okay, so I'm going to roll the balls in this cinnamon and sugar mixture. Let's see if that works. Oh, yeah, that's working. Okay, I have a new method. So you don't actually have to roll them in the cup. You can just roll them right on the parchment paper and then stick them in the bowl like that. This view is really, really good. Thank you. Just so they can see it. Okay. Oh, your thumb's in the way. Sorry. Thank you.
It wasn't my middle finger.
Yeah. That's Susan's finger, guys. All right. It's all good. Okay. So I'm rolling them and it looks like this. And then we're just going to put them right in the bowl. As we're going to be doing a cooking show like this every single Wednesday. Well, every week, once a week for sure.
Yeah.
And so stay tuned. And if you're on Facebook, hit the 3 dots. And then you'll see at the bottom, it says follow. And that way you'll get a little alert every time we go live, which is usually 9 times out of 10, barring holidays, etc., holiday schedules, being on Wednesday afternoons. And then if you are on YouTube, then you just subscribe to my channel, Diet Dish. And that's where you can be alerted every time we have a new low carb or ketogenic recipe that's been tasted and tried and true. What this means, so where I got this recipe from, you need to know that. So I mentioned that these coaches have helped people to lose 500 pounds totally, right? Over a year and a half. Amazing. And these are people that just do that in 14 days, by the way. So that's not even close. That's just getting them started. That's not even close to how much they lost overall. It's just, anyway, the point is that every single month for 18 months, they have a whole set of recipes that are geared just to that month, that are seasonal. Like for instance, this month they have a Thanksgiving menu, a full-on menu that's all low carb. And something you could serve to your family and they wouldn't even know. Everything from turkey and ham to mashed potatoes to a green bean casserole to all kinds of desserts, including
Well, not really mashed potatoes.
Okay, you're right. They're a substitute. They're mashed potato-esque. They are cauliflower. That's right. Anyway, if you want in that group or want more information about the keto challenge group, please write challenge in comments. And if you're interested in being added to a recipe group, I'm in a VIP recipe group for low carb and keto. Just write recipe in comments. I'd be happy to add you as my friend.
You just throw them in the pan.
That's right. Because once they're coated, that's all it needs. Actually, this looks really nice. Let's write this up here. This is another thing that I think that, like, if you were working with kids and stuff, it'd be easy to get them to help. You know what I think the difference is between like home chefs and really good chefs? I guess I need to start looking on technique, right? If I'm going to roll it, make it look pretty while I'm rolling it. Make the balls look perfect. Place them gently in the platter.
I wonder why it's called monkey bread.
That is a good question. Does anyone know why it's called monkey bread?
Maybe because you eat it with your fingers.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Maybe.
And you pull it apart and eat it with your fingers.
Yeah, like monkeys do.
For all of your little monkeys.
That's right. If anyone knows the answer, write in comments. Why do you think they call it monkey bread? Okay. We're almost done. So a lot of this is technique. What I find amazing doing this every Wednesday with you, all of you, and with you, Susan, is how actually quick and easy it is to make these things.
Yeah.
I mean, it really doesn't take that much time out of your day. I mean, I work a full-time job. Susan works a full-time job. You know, this doesn't take long. And especially now that many of us are working from home, you know, frankly, you can do it on your lunch break. That's what I'm doing. Almost done. And it seems to be the perfect amount of cinnamon, sugar, and butter to fathead dough. It's going to have exactly enough. Yeah, I'm glad I put this on the parchment. It makes it way easier to roll it. Okay, and we're on to almost the last step before we put it in the oven. So I'm trying to think, what's my favorite thing for Thanksgiving? To tell you the truth, since I moved to the Northwest, I took up snowboarding. And I hate to say it, but my favorite thing is playing in the snow, going snowboarding, because that's usually the opening weekend for places like Mount Baker and Whistler. In fact, I heard Mount Baker is going to open next week. They already have 30 inches of snow, which shouldn't be a surprise because it's been raining like crazy around here up until today.
I know, we have a beautiful day today.
Gorgeous. Okay, we're done.
And my little map said that it was supposed to be raining today. It lied.
Is that right?
You know your little app that says.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's lied. Mine lied. It's supposed to be raining here.
So here we go.
Yum.
I filled up 2 different pans with the monkey dough. Now, before we proceed, what I'm going to do is put a topping on top, and I'm going to show you how to make that right now. Let me just wash my hands real quick. Okay. So the ingredients for the topping. We are going to, thank you, Susan, you rock. We are going to put together 2 tablespoons butter, 2 tablespoons heavy cream, a 1/4 cup of the brown sugar Swerve, a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And pecans are optional, but they're not an option in my house. We're doing it. Okay, so I've got already in the pan the butter and cream. And now I'm going to be adding the Swerve. In case you're wondering what's in Swerve, and by the way, you can buy this at a lot of different grocery stores. Erythritol is the main sugar in Swerve. You can use other sugars, whatever is healthy for you, for your low carb, or if you're on a diabetic diet. Some people use allulose. Do what's right for you. But this one will work for low carb and keto. Okay, so I'm going to find that 1/4 cup measure. Here it is. And Susan's been kind enough. She already melted the butter and cream together. Now we're putting Swerve in there. Put a tiny bit of the vanilla extract in there. There we go. And finally, so what I do whenever I am going to add nuts to a recipe like this is I usually add the nuts to a Ziploc like this. You know, and you just do however many or how few you want. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. She's got the right tool. So I just put them in the bag, and then I just kind of hit them a couple times.
Use the flat side. Otherwise, it'll poke holes.
Okay, good idea.
I'm learning from
Use the flat side. Awesome. And then put them in. And now I'll stir it just to make it melt just a tiny bit faster. Here we go. So you can see how this is coming together. Oh my gosh, it looks delicious. Okay, you got to see this. Okay, it's done already.
Sorry, the dryer was going off.
I'm trying to show them how amazing this looks.
It does look good. Is that good?
Here, if you
Can't
point it
see.
to me. There you go. There you go. Now you can see it. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure we just pour this on top, but let's make sure. Okay. Pour the sauce over the coated dough balls. There we go. Okay. So we're pouring it over. And now it's really just a matter of dividing it equally between the 2 pans.
Oh, my poor chihuahua.
Coco.
She has a collapsing trachea.
Aw,
She has a little cough.
poor thing. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. And we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll be happy to show you how it comes out. So guys, I hope you watch my channel. If you enjoyed this recipe, please share it. Sharing is caring. Or if you like, at least follow me or subscribe to my YouTube channel, Diet Dish. And that way you'll get alerted every time there's a new recipe. And I am going to be putting recipes up here every single week, once a week on Wednesdays. So I'll be posting the recipe in this post along with pictures of the finished dish. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful day. See you next week.